grandfather rocks. Sology in Sedona. It's another 555 gateway. So this is what? The third one in 3 weeks. There's a lot of energy that's aligning. There's a lot of energy that's moving away from us. And it's becoming easier for us to move toward what we align with. Do you know how much sacred wisdom is kept in these grandfather rocks? They remind us of how sacred everything really is. Just a few quick comments on Soulogy Fest. So the festival starts in Friday, and it's going to run here in Sedona Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then we have a free event on Monday, Memorial Day, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Chocolate Tree. Everybody's invited. We have the whole restaurant to ourselves. We do have one-day passes for anyone that's going to be in the Sedona area. You can either buy a pass for Saturday or Sunday. We also have online tickets. And I'll be picking up the Soulogy Fest t-shirts on Tuesday. So we'll have some souvenirs. It's pretty exciting after all we've been through in 2020. And the first now 5 months in 2021. And really, we'd even have to include all the work we've done in the years prior to 2020. But everything's getting real clear now. Everything's getting crystal clear. And, you know, we've talked about this for the last couple of weeks. The biggest challenge seems to be the human aspect as we hold it in reverence. The human is the hero. But the human aspect is finding it challenging, no matter how lit, woke, no matter how high a frequency we might think we carry, we're being presented over and over again in the nuances of our lives, in our relationships, in our interactions. We're being presented with choice points, new choice points. So it's like we've, over these last few years, we've been building bridges, building nodal points through new collective neural pathways of 5D. And we've all slipped back throughout our days, every single day, into 3D, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But now, I think we're seeing some real progress for the leaps of faith that people have made. And I think part of the consequence of that is that we're now starting to come together, not just in the ethers, but in the physicality, such as Soulogy Fest. There's many physical representation of the energetic unification occurring all throughout the world, and it's happening all over the world. There's Soulogy Fest happening everywhere. It's an energy. It's all energy. And I think we're at a point now, and I'll keep saying it, until the day I transition. It's time to walk the talk. You know, it's not about what we tell, what stories we tell, and what labels we give ourselves, and even what names we give ourselves. It's about carrying that energy from the integrity of the I Am Soul and enhancing and expanding all the virtues of the soul. This is our natural nature. And because it's been so foreign to us, it seems very alien. We're all waiting for the other shoe to drop, but it's not going to drop. The universal energy is supporting us. It's supporting us no matter what narrative that you follow, be it the stories of the Matrix and the Illuminati, or the codes that we receive metaphorically through visions and dream quest and dimensional interactions. We're being forced and offered to flow into the present and let go or be dragged, because nobody has a choice here. Nobody gets out alive, and that means that nobody gets to carry any of their false identities and false belief systems, addictions, attachments with them into the 5D that we've been building these bridges on. And this is what's happening. You know, we've always had these loops in our lives, and we can all relate to it, where you know, you start working on something or doing something, and then the shoe drops and everything goes to hell in a handbasket. But that's not happening now. As we're learning to let go and relax and allow this incredible divine perfection, this flow, to do the work. It's the third energy, it's the golden child, it's the Trinity, it's the Holy Triad, it's the invisible part of us that I'll call Soulogy, but you could call it Holy Spirit or whatever you want to call it. But that invisible part of us is assisting us now, when we shut the F up and when we get out of the way. When we align with the guidance that we've received on a personal basis that is not affected by what anyone thinks about it, because it's for us. You know, Ascension is a very personal trip, and we can't take anything personal externally. The personal part of it for us is what we receive on a personal level. And as we start to align with that without any concern, but with an open heart to what people might think, we'll find that there'll be a cohesiveness occurring, a congealment of other like energies, and that's what's occurring. It's as real as we make it. And it's no different than when we were unconscious and we made death real, and all the other things that went with that programming. We've all been through so much. And that's just in our conscious memory, and what past life memories or future visitations we might have received. But the bottom line is, no matter who I am, who you are, no matter what we think we know, there's one thing that we can all absolutely 100% agree upon, no matter what. That I'm here, you're here, we're human hybrid souls in the flesh. We can think about the past, and we can think about the future, and we can think about parallel existences and alternate realities, but we're always right here. And now we're pulling all those parts of us into us here, and sharing all the code and wisdom we picked up, not only in the human lineage, the human incarnation's lineages, but also the soul's lineage. We all carry the Akashic records. We're all equal. We're all the same. It's funny because in this finite existence that this physical vessel endures and experiences, we complicate things. But I think we're all starting to understand that the most profound things are a beautiful simplicity. I am soul. You are soul, and soul is the God, Goddess. Oneness is oneness, and there are no exceptions. There is no middle ground. This is a real good time for us to focus on ourselves like never before. If we're pointing out the vibrations of frequencies that we perceive that others are putting out, the vibrations and frequencies of separation that we see in others from our own perception, and we're focused on that, I can guarantee you that there's something we're missing within ourselves. We are the line of separation. See, when we realize that we are the line of separation, and we are the only line of separation possible, nothing can separate us but us. And that's why I think this whole thing about walking the talk now, you know, this is when we apply it to the embodiment and the experience of the human being. All this stuff, all this code, transmissions, downloads, activations, past life memories, visitations, future life progressions, and so on. All that stuff is great. And all of us are experiencing it to one degree or another, although it may be unique to someone else. Metaphorically, it's all the same thing. It's the signs and the symptoms and the omens of a collective transformation that is driven and propelled by the individual's responsibility for co-creation, maturity in this evolution that we call Ascension. This is real. This is real. You won't find it in the headlines. You won't find it on most of the internet. You'll find it where two or more people connect, raw, real, comfortable in their own skin, vulnerable, cracked heart, wide open. This is the energy of the I Am Soul. And as the beautiful Morgan Lee taught me when I met her 5 years ago, you cannot find your soul until you find your human. And like everything else, as time has gone on, words and phrases take on higher, more expanded meanings. And to me, that pretty much says it all. The human hybrid aspect, the human hybrid soul, whatever you want to call it, is an equal part of our oversoul, our monad. It is equal. The only difference is that it's a very dense physical aspect. But we all know that's changing, and it's changing very rapidly. We've accelerated timelines over and over and over again. So many people have come on the show who have said, man, we're speeding this thing up. And we are. And every day there's more magic, and every day there's more alchemy. Every day the word healing becomes more and more and more of a term that doesn't apply, because there is no healing. There is no forgiveness in this space that we're building. There is a unilateral respect, honor, reverence, and love. Everything we see as ourselves, and it's no longer a new age cliche. It's the truth. I was told 10 years ago, there is one. I got that. And number two, that we're all unique and equal souls. You might call it fractals, whatever you want to call it. But each one of us has our own soul signature. And the third thing is that there is a perfect order, a perfect design. And that can be explained a lot of ways. What goes around comes around, cause and effect. And now more than ever, you know, in our journeys, we focused a lot on the things that didn't feel so good, the traumas, the bad choices, the whatever, the judgment, the self-judgment, the self-hatred, the self-loathing, the self-sabotage. Because these were very loud in our face because as unconscious creators, we were not aware of the loops that we had created and the energetic patterns that we were part of. We had consented to these over and over again because they became our comfort zone. But now we're stepping out of this comfort zone and it's uncomfortable. But every time we step through a fear, there's magic and alchemy on the other side. So I know that for the last 10 years, this last week of May has been the biggest week, the biggest period in my life each one of these years. And I feel like that the energy of this last week, as we head into this full moon eclipse and we head into June, it's a whole new world, and it has been that way for maybe a few weeks, but it's becoming more and more obvious. And so as we now have become conscious co-creators, responsible co-creators, we're seeing an immediate, instant manifestation, or I'd say creation. We're seeing how quickly we can change things for the better as we can look back and see in proportion to our past how we created things that weren't so comfortable and how quickly they came. Yeah, make no mistake, Ascension is not a pipe dream, and there's a lot of different names you could call it. It's not just subjected to one of us. We're all involved with it. No, our families aren't going to understand it and believe it. No, we don't have to go convince anyone. No, we don't have to go look for our tribe because our tribe is here. All we have to do is lean into it. Lean into this new energy, which is an unknown quantity. You see, we've been given all these templates and blueprints: Christ consciousness, divine union, sacred sexuality, and there's many, many more. These were the Akashic that we have had at our fingertips. And now we're going to combine this with our physical experience in these incarnations. And then there's going to be an equal sign on the other side of those two things added together. And this is what we're doing. To me, this is God. This is the goddess, and this is source in the universe, prime creator. It's not a noun. It's a transitive verb. It's motion. It's spiritual inertia, moving without any impediments. Because the only impediment that our spiritual inertia has had, that we can all relate to, is the unconscious programming, loops, patterns, and behaviors that were controlling our lives strictly because we were unconscious. But that's how we designed this thing, and now we've woke up. I connected last night when I went to bed. It was a long day. And obviously everybody's dealing with the energy no matter where you are on the earth. And I put my hands together. Then I laid them on my side. Felt for Morgan's hand. Once I felt it, I connected. And I said to the team, to my monad, to my oversoul, I said, what can I do? What can we do? How are we doing? And is there anything that you want to convey to me or communicate to me before I go to sleep? And this is what I got. They told me this verbatim: you guys are kicking ass and taking fucking names. Stand tall, keep going, you're all gonna meet in the middle. That's how my guides speak to me. All right. Don't forget. Oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna keep the I'll keep the camera on. I'm going over to the Golden Light Retreat Center to meet with our beloved sister, the owner of Golden Light Retreat Center, Karen Golden. And this is the little hostel, little retreat hostel that we kind of collaborated with for the festival. We've got about 20 people sleeping there for 3 nights. I think we still got 2 or 3 beds open. It's $222 for 3 nights if you're interested. It's pretty cheap. That's more than cheap. But anyway, it's also, I think, it'd be a good thing for you guys to meet her, although she might not be happy with me having her on camera. But dang, I forgot where it is. Let me see, hang on. What street is this? Yeah, I'm not quite sure where it is. We'll just turn at the next street. So, but I think it'd be good for you guys to know about this place, because if you ever do come to Sedona, it's a very affordable, you know, option for accommodations. The first time I came to Sedona, I was here for 6 weeks. I went through a hell of an initiation. It was in 2018. And I was literally, you know, struggling to find a place to stay night after night. And so I was just about to leave, and I met Karen Golden through a friend of mine. And so I stayed there. She gifted me a couple of nights. You know, there's so many connections that we make and that we have made that if you look at them, they're like synchronicities. They're like 11-11 and 55-55 and all that stuff. And those are coming through more and more and more every single day. Obviously, I'm on the wrong street. Well, I could try to look for it. That means I'd have to get off the video. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll go over there and ask her if it's okay if I do a little filming so people can see how nice her place is. And like I said, it's a really good option for sleep accommodations. If you come to Sedona, you know, whether you're by yourself or with a small group, it's a beautiful little retreat center. It'd be a great place for, you know, like a group of 10 or 15 people to have a weekend retreat. And that's what she does. She really works hard at it too. Let's find a place to turn this damn thing around. Anyway, I'll go over there and I'll flip it back on, and that way I can ask her permission. And if she said she doesn't want to be on camera, I just won't put her on the camera. But I'm gonna have to get off right now so I can look up the address. I'm only about 2 blocks away. So I'll talk to y'all in a little bit. Peace out. I don't know, this damn thing wants me to turn it off.